Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Kayle, and we'll be concluding actually our 10-star run from the Nightmares campaign. Unfortunately, it has reached the point where Kayle is getting sidelined by Garen. Thanks to Kayle's power, we can just summon Garen right away. He refills his mana on summon. It deals 3 to everything, clears the opponent's board, and yeah, that's been our game plan so far. Kayle is just there to be an overwhelm unit at the end of the game. Let's see if things change up and I actually start using Kayle a bit more, but so far Garen has been carrying us. Celestial Wonder, Durant's Protege. Nah. Overprepared. Do I care about overprepared? It's one more card that we can play on our units, and it kind of works with our phalanx. Yeah, sure. Can't be too bad. It's not like we're struggling with hand space anyway, so having one additional card in hand at the start is probably fine. Let's toss all of these. Let's get the Garen. As long as we have the Garen, we can keep anything else. The Darkin Harp. This might be a bit of a challenge because of the opponent's units getting buffs. But let's see if we can actually outcompete the opponent's units in terms of stats. Do I go for the Kayle right away? Because the thing is, Kayle will level up next turn. Let's play the Yarp fast priority back to the opponent, because I feel like he's just going to fill the entire board up yet again. I'm kind of going all in here, but honestly, I don't really mind. I think it's correct. This clears 3, 4 actually. Sets up the level up on the Kayle next turn. We don't get to level up the Garen, but I don't think we need to. Because I have 2 big threats on the board. I'm going to have to somehow deal with the opponent's board next turn. Extremely buffed up board. But we should manage. Unfortunately, I can't judgment here. Can do this. Can do this to do the Veiled Blessings to generate an additional blocker. The opponent has no cards in hand. At least we have that going for us. And we're only taking 3. Wounded White Flame. Do I bother playing it here? I might actually save it just so he can deal 3 to everything next turn. Basically guaranteed the victory next turn anyway, right? Because we do Judgment to clear 2 overwhelm units, or to clear the opponent's board. We have can do this plus Zenith Blade on our bigger units to give both of them overwhelm. Or Kayle already has overwhelm, but we give Garen overwhelm, and then we do this, and we just judgment down the opponent's board. So at the very least, my overwhelm unit's damage goes through, and that's enough. Nice. We managed to kill the opponent 1 turn earlier. well, one turn earlier than we should because of the damage halving from the landmark. Battlesmith, Ardent Sensor. Yeah, let's get another Crumbling Sands. Crumbling Sands is a pretty good card. Crumbling Sands on its own deals with the Heart of the Fluffed. Blade's Edge, Sunstone Scout. The new student kind of has synergy with our deck because whenever one of our units gains stats, it gives the same amount of stats to one card in our hand, so that's just going to buff up our units more. That's bound to be good. Shop, the Rekindler, Stargazer, Ada Spirit. Stargazer is pretty good, but we won't have rerolls for it. Same thing with the Ada Spirit. And afterwards we have a champion item chest. What would be a better encounter with without rerolls? I think it's the Ada Spirit, or not the Ada Spirit, the Stargazer, because we see more powers that way. But going for this path allows us to get potentially 2 extra powers. And the Rekindler is not wasted that way, because I wouldn't spend money on the Rekindler. But the Stargazer's powers have higher quality than the Ada Spirit ones most of the time. And I wouldn't have to deal with the Elder Dragon plus Norra shenanigans. But sharing my curse is actually pretty annoying for our deck. Then again, we have the Mystic Meditation, so we do reduce the cost of the curses. This gives us more powers, the left path. So let's go for it, even if it's harder. I think our deck is strong enough to the point where we can take on the extra challenge from the Ada Spirit. Let's toss the Furious Firebrand back. I'll keep the Crumbling Sands. One Crumbling Sands, one Divine Clerk. Just in case I don't draw into a Garen. I still have plays for this first turn. Eye of God. It's kind of a crappy weapon. I guess it's 0 mana. Gives something barrier.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Let's do... Kind of wanted to do Sacrificial Scholar, but let's do Divine Clerk. Get the chain going of 3 damage. Just so I can at the very least clear the Sun Guardian, I think. The Solaris Shield Bearer. We'll get the massive Sacrificial Scholar. Eye of God. Blessing of Targon here. Then we attack with everything. Got an S Challenger. I'll kill this one. This one has 3 health, so it will die to a proc from our power. The opponent doesn't even bother blocking. Okay, I guess that's the benefit from taking health damage from everything. Okay, that's way too many Garens. I could use something other than Garen. 7 mana Judgment. I won't use Judgment. I'll do Sacrificial Scholar, Crumbling Sands on that one. Yeah, I'll stick with that game plan. Wait, the opponent doesn't attack? I thought for sure the opponent was going to attack me now with the... I guess it's because I have the Sacrificial Scholar. Attacking with the Herald of Convergence would be pretty pointless. Well, whatever. Let's do our game plan anyway. think it's good to play Kayle here. We'll just clear everything. I'll clear everything besides the Herald of Convergence. We can do this. What? Yeah, let's do this here to level up the Garen. We get 4 mana back. The opponent's actually out of resources, I didn't even realize. Can I kill the opponent this turn? Without double attack on the Kayle, it might be hard. I was kind of hoping the double attacking Garen would be enough, but the opponent managed to get a Falling Comet from his Solari Priestess. I guess I won't kill the opponent this turn. Ooh, I actually have enough damage to kill the opponent. I guess I buffed up Kayle and all of my other units enough. I was worried about taking on Norra and Vex and the Elder Dragon with a power that's a downside, but maybe I shouldn't worry about it at all. Frost Spikes, we stand together, Divine Armaments. More Sacrificial Scholars though. More Sacrificial Scholars are good, right? More copies of cards that are good because my spells are good, and then Frost Spikes is 1 more damage to everything. Sacrificial Scholars also cycled, so they're not dead draws. The unfortunate part is that none of my units have Spell Shield. I want more Zenith Blades, not particularly. I guess I'll just take the Officer back up and be done. 1 more unit to summon at the start. Wait, didn't I purchase the Officer back up? I thought for sure I had pressed the button. Maybe I misclicked. No, it's there. Maybe I just have so many powers that they don't show up in the start screen anymore. I was worried for a second there that I had messed up and not purchased the power. It wouldn't make too much of a difference, but it's a little bit of a difference. It's +1/+1 to all the Ort 1 unit in my hand. That can go a long way. Is that relevant? I don't think so. Let's do the Vineclar. It goes and plays the gem probably, but it's okay. We'll just do this here. We'll do the Divine Blessings here. And now we just attack with everything and take half of the opponent's health. Okay, no. I was wondering if I could kill the Gem Dragon at least, but no, we can't. Could use this Shady Spectacles on something, but nah. It's not worth it yet. At least I don't think so. Let's do Kayle, clear everything. We set up a kill next turn because Kayle is leveling up here. Does the opponent do anything? He has 3 gems in hand. Let's do this here. Keep giving more stats to the Kayle, because every 3 attack on the Kayle is actually doubled. It's not actually every 3, it's every point of attack on the Kayle is doubled. Honestly, yeah, let's keep holding. I don't need to commit more onto the board. I can just use these units to clear the Poros the opponent's going to get next turn. Anything else you want to do, opponent?
Tend the fire.
I don't think he has anything he wants to do. Or at the very least there's nothing he can do to survive this upcoming attack.
My light shines, just and righteous.
I'm still going to place something here just to soften up the opponent's board. Oh, that was weird. We disconnected for a second. Let's attack.
They are damned.
Does the opponent find a way to survive? No, he doesn't. Yeah, not everyone can survive a 46 damage double attacker. Even if the opponent didn't have the damage halving. Or even if the opponent has the damage halving, he still dies. Solaris Shield Breaker, Shield Bearer. I guess so. Because this, thanks to the Spirit, this becomes a 5 attack unit. So it's another unit that we can just play by default to deal 3 to everything. Grant the 3 leftmost cards in your hand fleeting. Copy the first card you play each turn. Can we play the game with 3 less cards in hand every turn? I think so. Let's go for it. Duplicate is very good. And if we can beat the Elder Dragon and Norra and Vex with this, we can beat it with anything. I don't even have to worry about losing the 3 leftmost cards in my hand too much, right? Because of the fast deal, they all get shuffled back into the deck, so it's not too bad. Do I keep this hand? I'll keep the Gift Giver just in case, but I'll throw the Shield Vault back. I'd rather draw it later. I'll just keep the Solaris Shield better just in case I get nothing else that's playable. I think we have a pretty decent first turn here. We'll just do Garen, I guess. Refill our spell mana, clear everything. Then I'll follow it up with a Veiled Blessings, perhaps. Refill our spell mana that way. This is weird. This is weird. The opponent did nothing, and he has 7 mana. I'm going for a second Solaris Shield Bearer. Or for the Solaris Shield Bearer, maybe. That way I clear the Norra, I clear the 2 Herald of Dragons, clear the Plucky Poro. I think this forces a response from the opponent as well. I think this is fine. The opponent has to do something here. Okay, Winged Singer. He's just recalling something. Do I do Veil Blessings? I guess I have to let the Garen go. It's a bit annoying. But I think it's fine. I wonder what I should do here. The breakpoint on that is gone. I'd really like to kill the Vex though. This will capture the Wind Singer. What does this Wind Singer have? Bonded Bucklers. This will capture the Vex. I can try and bait the opponent into maybe blocking with the Vex or the Wing Singer perhaps. We'll see. We have the Veiled Spirits. Okay, perfect actually, right? Because I can do this. That refills my spell mana. Or my mana in general. Buffs up my units. Then I do this. I clear most of the opponent's board. In fact, I can clear the entirety of the opponent's board. Let's ensure that the opponent doesn't have any herald of dragons on the board. That way he won't be able to play the Elder Dragon unless he develops something. Does he always have 40 in the opening hand? I felt like last time I played against the Elder Dragon he also had Portia. Does he clear my entire board? No, but we got rid of the Erastin, at least, that's good. Erastin is a big threat, one that we can easily get rid of, because the opponent, we won't have a way to do so. Damn, the opponent's attacking right away. Didn't expect that. Do I take the 18? I can mitigate some damage with the Crumbling Sands. I am going to do it. I think it's fine, we'll heal it up with some of our regeneration. I guess that's the opponent's game plan then. He will just try to kill me with Corina Veranza. Ouch. Do I save the Solaris Shield Bearer? I'll do it. Maybe I can kill the opponent next turn. Yeah, we can heal up with the Divine Cleric, so I'm not too worried, as long as I don't die here. Yeah, this, the opponent's kind of screwing himself with this, I feel like. He's getting rid of a lot of cards that would be quite good to get. I'll use the Divine Cleric next turn to go ahead and heal up with the opponent's full board.
I am the Hera, vessel of divine judgment.
This is kind of annoying, but I can release my units. Still. Then do I do double shackles right away? I think so. I think that's correct. The opponent has enough mana to play the Elder Dragon. I don't even really need to release the Garen, right? At least I don't think so. He plays Elder Dragon. Let's do this. This is enough to kill the Elder Dragon, right? Yes, it is. We're buffing up our units. We deny the opponent a big turn. His entire turn is basically wasted.
Glory and light.
And I might be able to win here. Depends a bit on how he blocks. No, we don't win here. Let's do the Targon's Blessing. Silence or Supernova. Let's pick up the Supernova. It's actually a pretty good way to get rid of large units. Problematic threats as well. Unfortunate part is that we're nowhere near to the point where we're leveling up the Garen. And the opponent really generated this off of the portal powers. Pulse. Kind of lucky of him to do so. At least we have an answer. The Yeti is fine. Not that big of a problem. I'll just supernova these two things down. Make full use of my mana restoration. And I can use Veiled Blessings to discard one of his cards. Let's do that on the Sacrificial Scholar, so we can get more copies of it. Maybe I shouldn't do it now though. The opponent just got a full hand of basically Poros. I don't want to discard Poros. Much rather do this. I'm going to release the Garen next turn because the shackles will be gone. Guess I can do Solar Shield better because it's pretty big as well. Doesn't really matter what the opponent does at this point. I have secured the victory. He has 3 mana. Unless he somehow manages to go infinite with the glare, which would require an amount of luck that's quite impressive. Okay, he only got 4 casts out of it. I was worried I would be forced to see the opponent play a billion cards or a billion copies of the Gloom. This should be lethal here. The opponent has nothing that saves him, right? Nice. Oh, for a second I was worried this game was going to go on longer because the opponent would have interaction at fast or burst speed to prevent the damage from the Kayle. And now we're basically guaranteed to win. Duplicate is going to just, well, duplicate my cards. Are all Crush Gauntlets? I guess. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Champagne item chest. Titan's Axe, Immortal, Power Riff. Do I want Power Riff for Kayle? Maybe Immortal or maybe Titan's Axe. Actually no, Titan's Axe on Garen guarantees that he instead of dealing 3 to every unit, he strikes instead, which basically means Garen levels up on summon. Yeah, that's worth it. Leveling up Garen on summon is huge, because then we'll have a free attack every turn. Well, we'll have an attack on our non-attacking turns. Toss deals, toss deals, toss this. I guess I'll keep the Sacrificial Scholar. With the fact that we start with units on board now is pretty good, because it means we have targets for our spellcasts, or early spellcasts. Why is this so big? Starfire Spellblade? Really, Starfire Spellblade? I guess this is a pretty long adventure, so we have been ending a lot of encounters. I didn't realize it would get to this point though. Kayle by itself already has enough stats to go ahead and strike everything on summon. Might be able to kill the opponent if I just go for a Kayle here on this first turn. Because we have Garen on the board. Or we have a leveled up Garen on the board. The opponent really blocks the one elusive instead of the units that would end up mitigating the most amount of damage. That has to be a mistake. I'll just do Sacrificial Scholar, clear the opponent's entire board, and then attack with a massive Kayle. That will be game. Ah, he's stunning Kayle. Well, even if Kayle's stunned, there's no guarantee that the opponent ever gets to survive this. Does he play something? Fledgling Stellacorn. Unfortunately, opponent, I don't think that's enough. It might be though. really need to... Yeah, this is enough. I just had to prevent the Stellacorn from gaining any health at all for the opponent. He almost survived the second turn. Almost. Fused Firebrand, Mihira, Scholarly Climber. Unfortunately, Mihira is too slow. Let's just take the Fused Firebrand. It's kind of interesting how so far Kayle has actually been performing very well. One would expect a slow champion like her to kind of struggle here. I'm definitely keeping the Crumbling Sands. Crumbling Sands will allow me to get rid of the Heart of the Fluff. Well, I'm going to go for Garen here at the start, so the opponent won't get to incorporate any Poros in the Heart of the Fluff, or the first one. But I definitely need something to do with the second one. Aurora Borealis. Okay. He goes for heart right away. That is interesting. How do I do this? Honestly, I think the correct choice is just to do this. We'll maximize our damage a little bit. Hold the Crumbling Sands for the next turn. Guess I can try to kill this Heart of the Fluff. I'll do it. Ooh. Scout on the Garen, that changes things a lot. Now I'm no longer incentivized to go for an open attack right away. We instead proc Scout first. Just to get the Heart of the Fluff. And then do this. Keep pulling our units. I'll Malefic Spear this guy to give it some protection. Let's try to maximize the amount of damage dealt. I wonder if next turn the opponent's going to go for Heart of the Fluff right away, or if he's going to wait. Well, as long as the Heart of the Fluff doesn't have more than 15 or 30 health, we can even just concerted strike it down. Okay, no, he goes for Heart of the Fluff. Fortunately, it doesn't have Spell Shield, so he can answer it pretty well. I was considering for a second going for Fused Firebrand, but I can't. I really do have to go for something that I can play alongside the Crumbling Sands. That is if I want to play something alongside the Crumbling Sands, because if I can just do this first. We're going to draw a billion. This might just be enough to win the game. I wonder if the opponent has enough blockers. Let's see. First we attack with the Garens. The opponent takes 9. And then we attack with everything else. Surely the opponent dies here. 27. Yeah, more than enough. Damn, the damage output we're managing to dish out is impressive. We might actually struggle nothing against the last encounter. which is going to be funny because a champion that's normally the best champion in the game, like Swain, will have struggled more against the last encounter than a champion that I would normally not consider among the best ones when it comes to being at 6 stars, like Kayle. Mostly because Kayle requires a specific setup in order to be good, and requires you to not die to aggression, early aggression. This is interesting. I can do Veil. Oh no, no Garen at the start is kind of a bother. Can do Veil Blessings right away to discard 2 cards from the opponent's hand. Like so. Let's discard 2 of the opponent's cards. That was a good hit. That was a pretty good hit as well. Then let's do Kayle. If the opponent has removal for the Kayle, so be it. Since I can't go for Garen, I might as well go hard on the Kayle. I wonder if the opponent's going to go for the 1 mana 1990 plus a rally effect. That's a Zoe. Black Market Merchant. No. Okay. Kayle levels up here. That's a Crumbling Sands, which will deal with the 1 mana 1990. The opponent's boros are rather large, and so is the Zoe, so I can't just deal with them with a single unit. This is kind of annoying, that he's attacking me like this. At least I'll discard the cards he got just now, and I'll trade favorably into all of his units. He has to have a plan beyond this, right? This seems like a bad attack for him, because he's throwing away his Zoe. Let's just do this to cycle into a unit. That's the Garen. Just going to do this. Last priority back to the opponent. He steals my fused Firebrand, which is not a problem. Should I do Garen here? Honestly, nah, we don't have to. Now we can do Garen. Nah, there's no need. We'll wait for the board to fill up so we can go for Garen then. Garen will clear the board here, or almost clear the board. The fused Firebrand will be left alive. This is a problem if the opponent has Buried in Ice, but if it doesn't, we might just kill him here. Even if the opponent has a Buried in Ice, I think we still play through it. We can still play through the Buried in Ice. Just do Asserted Strike. These two will come back with Barrier. I guess I can override the one of my units to play the Sacrificial Scholar. Wonder what the opponent does here. Just nothing. I can override one of the other units. I guess I'll do it. I might not want to commit too much here though. Let's just do this to replace the Blessings of Targon in my hand and kind of distribute the love. Okay, we have a second Garen. If I had known that, I would draw... No, it wouldn't have been enough mana to play the Garen. I'm summoning a round start rally. Okay, so it's only round start, so playing Garen here will accomplish nothing. Might just do it just to
Demacian, bring down the sky.
clear the board. There's a pretty good... that's a pretty good card to play. He brought most units out of Garen's range. Let's do this. Try to get Garen to at least 12 attack. Nice. Now Garen clears everything on summon.
For justice, for democracy.
There go all of the Poros. We refill mana. Garen comfortably blocks the Cytheria.
I'll take for Demacia.
Okay, no it doesn't. Well, I can give my unit barrier, so it's fine.
For the king.
Wait, no more champions in the deck? Oh no, it's the item. Right, I'm confusing what items each card has. I'm going to draw one next turn. Or two next turn, but I discard one, so it's fine. What? Disconnects? Yet again? This has been a consistent problem. Wait, where did my Kayle go? Didn't I have a Kayle? Did I override the Kayle accidentally? Without Kayle things are a bit more awkward. I can't really clear the board with just... I can attack with everything. Just force the opponent to have an answer to the one unit that will be unblocked. Which he doesn't. Oh, that's surprising. If he had another Birdie Nice, this was correct. I was thinking about that. I was thinking if he had another form of fast or burst speed interaction that would prevent my last unblocked unit from connecting, but I don't think he has. Maybe he has some stun or silence effect that I'm misremembering. But if he had that, then so be it. I would have to wait an additional turn to win. Yeah, Garen definitely carried this run. Those first turns were very good for me, thanks to Garen coming down for free. That was a pretty good run. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.